Everyone has heard of Sekekama, the legendary king of the savannah. But what if I told you that there's a group of lions even bigger, stronger, and with more than enough intelligence to dominate one of the most dangerous ecosystems in the world? The Ngorongoro Quintet defies the odds and calls into question everything we know about the balance of power in nature. Today, we're going behind the scenes of this extraordinary coalition, its genetic origin in the Flow Coalition, its hunting strategies, its reign over the crater, and the mystery surrounding one of its members. Get ready to meet the true elite of the Big Five. In northern Tanzania lies one of the most fascinating ecological jewels on the planet, the Ngorongoro Conservation Area. This vast region, recognized as a UNESCO World Heritage Site, holds a volcanic crater formed approximately 2.5 million years ago. It's over 8,000 square kilometers of pure wildlife, a crater more than 600 meters deep where over 25,000 animals roam freely, including the feared Big Five. According to data from the Ngorongoro Conservation Area Authority, more than 25,000 large mammals move freely through the area, including the famous Big Five. Amid the complex ecological web of Ngorongoro lies a microcosm of biodiversity rarely seen elsewhere on Earth. The green plains are dotted with wildebeest, buffalo, elephants, and antelope, while jackals and hyenas prowl the edges of the territory. However, it's among the predators that a unique spectacle unfolds. The presence of giant lions, adapted to the ecological pressures and natural selection of the region, stands out not only because of their physical size, but also due to how they organize into highly complex social structures, such as male coalitions seeking territorial dominance. One such formation has made its mark in recent African wildlife history, the Ngorongoro Lion Quintet. Also known as the Flow Coalition, this group is composed of 5 remarkable males: hairy mammal, LK-116, LK-117, Titan Jr., and LK-123, all descendants of powerful bloodlines, as identified in field studies by local researchers and experienced observers like Craig Packer. Genetics played an essential role in this story. The lions in this coalition display a rare combination of size, strength, and longevity, elements directly shaped by the unique pressures of the crater ecosystem. In the enclosed landscape of Ngorongoro, where ecological challenges impose constant natural selection, these lions have emerged as true titans of the savannah. With bodies that exceed conventional limits for the species, reaching an impressive 260 kilograms and more than 3.3 meters in length in the case of Titan Jr. They not only lead but rewrite the balance of power between predators and prey. But what explains this extraordinary size? Genetics, environment, or something beyond biology? What makes them so distinct from other lions in the region and even from legendary names like Sekekama? The answer is rooted in the past of this coalition, and it's from that point that we begin to understand the true pillars of their strength. The origin of the Ngorongoro Lion Quintet's extraordinary strength is directly tied to a unique combination of genetic inheritance and environmental factors. These 5 males were born in 2013 and belong to the so-called Flow Coalition, a lineage studied by behavioral ecology experts. From cubhood, they already displayed physical traits that stood out from the average, a result of the severe natural selection that operates in the Ngorongoro region. As noted in records from the Serengeti Lion Project, the crater's unique environmental conditions directly influence the morphological development of the lions born there. The genetics of these lions carry traits reminiscent of the great males of East Africa, such as those from the Serenera and Ndutu regions. Titan Jr. himself has become a symbol of strength and physical supremacy. These numbers are uncommon even among the Big Five and show that the influence of the environment combined with genetic lineage molds true colossi among the savanna's predators. The biodiversity of the Ngorongoro region also contributes to this buildup of physical superiority. With an abundance of prey such as buffalo, wildebeest, and even hippos, the coalition's cubs grew up feeding on high-energy density protein, essential for muscular and skeletal development. The quality of the hunt and the amount of available food created a favorable environment for the rise of giant lions. As observed in field reports from the Ngorongoro Lion Project, these factors aligned almost surgically in the group's evolutionary history. Beyond their impressive physical structure, there is an often overlooked element lineage. From an early age, hairy mammal and his brothers displayed leadership traits, discipline, and an early aptitude for attack strategy, characteristics observed in hunting and conflict situations. This combination of rare genetics, challenging environment, and social learning positioned the Flow Coalition not only as dominant in the crater, but as an exemplary case of adaptive dominance. And it was with these very tools that, a few years later, the five began to orchestrate something unthinkable: the total conquest of the Ngorongoro crater. In the vastness of the Ngorongoro crater, some lions don't just survive, they impress with their colossal scale. Among them, the name Titan Jr. resounds with force. He exceeds the average size of African male lions, which usually weigh between 150 and 250 kilograms, according to data from the Serengeti Lion Project. He's a true example of size supremacy, a dominance of proportions rarely documented in the wild. But Titan Jr. is not alone on this scale. Hairy mammal, the dominant male of the Flow Coalition, shows nearly equally impressive dimensions: 258 kilograms and 3.4 meters from end to end. These data were recorded in field observations conducted by researchers from the Ngorongoro Conservation Area Authority, as cited in publications by the Wildlife Conservation Society. Even the smallest member of the coalition, LK-123, measures up to the legendary Sekekama, an icon of feline strength in Botswana. The presence of such massive lions within a single coalition raises questions about the physical limits of African wildlife. After all, 5 males weighing over 250 kilograms, operating together, shift the ecological balance of the region. As documented by scholars from the University of Minnesota, the presence of superpredators on this scale alters the behavior not only of their prey, but also of other predators such as hyenas and leopards. This creates a scenario where dominance is maintained not just through brute strength, but also through the psychological impact these giants impose. The lion's unusual size also affects their hunting strategy and territorial defense. Lions of this stature can bring down larger prey, face rival groups more easily, and endure long night patrols without signs of exhaustion. It's as if genetics combine stamina, power, and intelligence in unusual doses. Ngorongoro's very biodiversity seems to have conspired in favor of this generation, producing a group of lions whose stature is as symbolic as it is functional. And as these titanic bodies move along the slopes of the crater, a new phase of confrontations and territorial takeovers begins to unfold. The rise of the Flow Coalition was marked not only by strength but by a precise combination of strategy and timing. During the silent nights of the Ngorongoro crater, these 5 giant lions moved like coordinated shadows, challenging the dominant males of the time. The attacks began with carefully positioned ambushes, often under cover of dense vegetation and slopes that made escape difficult. According to reports documented by local guides and observers from the Ngorongoro Lion Project, each attack was planned with near-military precision. In this wild chessboard, hairy mammal quickly stood out not only for his size, but for his innate leadership. He was the one who positioned the coalition, guided the movements, and often initiated direct confrontations. A silent but fierce leader, whose tactical intelligence rivaled his physical strength. The way he coordinated the other members demonstrated a rare collective instinct, even among the famous Big Five. As mentioned by the African Wildlife Foundation, coalitions like this, with such synergy, are extremely uncommon. It was a moonless dawn, and all that could be heard was the muffled sound of footsteps on the damp grass. Like jungle phantoms, the 5 emerged from the shadows, ready to change the crater's history. The old males were ambushed in a valley near Lake Magadi. One by one, the rivals were overpowered with a ferocity that made it clear this was a new era. Since then, the crater has become known for housing the most powerful lions in Tanzania, a coalition with the size, strength, and cohesion to rewrite the territorial behavior of the region, a true milestone in the history of African predators. The impact of this takeover wasn't limited to the social structure of the lions, it extended to the entire ecological chain. Herds of wildebeests and buffaloes changed their migratory patterns, and even elephants became more cautious when crossing certain areas. The African fauna instinctively recognized the presence of a new power. And, with dominance consolidated, an even more impressive phase began. The revelation of hunting skills that would elevate this coalition to an almost mythological level. Among the most remarkable feats of the Flow Coalition, one stands out as an almost unbelievable achievement in the wild: the hunt of an adult hippopotamus. Considered one of the most dangerous animals in the African fauna, the hippo is rarely attacked by lions due to its weight, strength, and aggressive temperament. However, according to records shared by guides from the Ngorongoro conservation area and documented in field observations, the Quintet did the unthinkable, and with impressive efficiency. The ambush was meticulously executed at the edge of a small stream on the eastern rim of the crater. The animal, an adult male weighing over 1,500 kg, was attacked from all sides in a synchronized assault. Titan Jr. was the first to leap onto the prey's back. Soon after, hairy mammal and LK-117 immobilized the hind legs while the others targeted the neck area, a coordinated, brutal, and efficient attack. This demonstration of strength, combined with a rare collective intelligence, deeply impacted observers in the region. Coalitions like this rarely go after such risky targets, a decision that would normally endanger even the strongest lions. The privileged genetics, inherited from a powerful lineage, allowed the group to execute actions that go beyond typical predator behavior. As pointed out by BBC Earth in a recent feature on Ngorongoro lions, this type of event redefines what we understand about the predatory power of African lions. The repercussions of this event echoed throughout Ngorongoro, directly affecting interspecies dynamics. Herbivores began avoiding that area, and even rival lions, even in smaller coalitions, began keeping their distance. With this feat, the five not only reaffirmed their dominance but also elevated their status to a new level of respect and fear. At the heart of the Ngorongoro crater, the Lion Quintet turned a natural paradise into a true fortress. Since the initial conquest, they have maintained strict control over every square meter of their territory. The region, already known for its impressive biodiversity, is now also remembered for the brutal and efficient reign of these exceptional predators. According to the Ngorongoro Lion Project, no other group has managed to maintain dominance for so long in the area, a feat that highlights their strategy and collective intelligence. With every invasion attempt, the response was immediate and devastating. Solitary males or small coalitions that dared to cross the crater's borders were quickly repelled. Many did not survive to try again. The five lions, especially hairy mammal and Titan Jr., acted in sync, constantly patrolling the surroundings. This constant vigilance drastically reduced the movement of rivals and solidified the group's dominance over one of the most coveted ecosystems in the African fauna. Physical power also played a central role in maintaining the territory. Each coalition member exceeded 250 kilograms, with defined muscles and thick manes, similar to lions from the legendary Sekekama lineage. This factor, combined with the genetic strength inherited from the Flow Coalition, intimidated even the largest members of the Big Five. According to reports from local rangers, the group even intimidated young elephants and solitary rhinos with their mere presence. But it wasn't just brute strength that sustained this hegemony. Hairy mammals' strategic leadership, combined with LK-116's vigilance and LK-123's aggressiveness, formed an almost perfect balance. A balance that, with each lunar cycle, was put to the test by emerging rivals. And even though their reign seemed absolute until now, the signs of time and rumors of possible internal losses began to cast a new shadow over the future of this lineage. The permanence of the Lion Quintet in the Ngorongoro crater is not just about the military power of its members. The true legacy of these giants is beginning to be shaped by the new generations. The cubs, born under the coalition's protection, display impressive levels of vitality and resilience. As observed by researchers from the Ngorongoro Lion Project, the mortality rate among this group's cubs is unusually low for the region's standards. The genetics inherited from the Flow Coalition appears to ensure more than size. It offers longevity and robustness. In an environment where disease, predators, and even rival lions constantly threaten the youngest, the survival of these cubs is a direct indicator of the father's efficiency. The social structure maintained by hairy mammal and his brothers creates a safe environment where the cycle of life can unfold naturally. So far, there have been no recorded cases of death due to debility among direct descendants, a rare fact in any corner of the African fauna. This suggests not only strength but a refined protection system, typical of coalitions that prioritize their offspring as their most valuable asset. The impact of this lineage is already starting to be felt beyond the crater's borders. Some of the young males are venturing into neighboring territories, showing physical and behavioral traits that clearly reflect their parents. With broad bodies, dense manes, and dominant behavior, these descendants reinforce the impression that the group's supremacy is not an isolated event, but part of a successful evolutionary strategy. The growing presence of these young lions in new areas suggests that the quintet's influence may be only just beginning. But even with this promising scenario, rumors and silent changes are beginning to hover over the stability of the original coalition. On one hand, the cubs are growing healthy and strong. On the other, the challenges of keeping this lineage alive in such a competitive environment are intensifying. As time moves forward, the weight of the legacy falls not only on the founders but also on the heirs. And it's precisely at this point that the stories intertwine with the mystery surrounding the current days of the kings of Ngorongoro. Even after 7 years of reign, the members of the Ngorongoro Lion Quintet continue to defy all odds of nature. In an ecosystem where territorial disputes, diseases, and physical wear often shorten the leadership of dominant males, the longevity of this coalition is a remarkable phenomenon. As highlighted by data from the Ngorongoro Conservation Area Authority, this is one of the longest-lasting coalitions ever recorded in the region. Hairy Mammal, Titan Jr., and the others remain active, maintaining dominance over the crater with impressive consistency. They are giant lions, with body mass and instinct that continue to intimidate even other predators in the area. However, recent rumors have drawn the attention of experts and wildlife enthusiasts. There are circulating reports about the disappearance of LK-123, the most discreet member of the group, fueling speculation about his possible death. No official source, including observers from Panthera, has confirmed this event so far. The absence of photographic records or recent sightings only adds layers of mystery. Meanwhile, the other members continue their routine of patrolling, defending, and reproducing with the same firmness as in the early years. As with any great animal leadership, the absence of a member can trigger unpredictable changes. Even so, the name of the Flow Coalition already echoes as a living legend in the African savanna. Its impact has gone beyond local biodiversity and has become a reference in studies on large carnivore behavior. The combination of factors such as size, strength, hunting tactics, offspring protection, and reproductive endurance creates a unique case. As mentioned in studies by the Serengeti Lion Project, few groups have demonstrated this same combination of effectiveness and longevity. And while the world's eyes turn to their possible heirs, the original leaders remain the epicenter of a chapter still in the making. Because, after all, in a territory marked by grand stories and silent tragedies, the line between legend and reality is constantly crossed. With the Big Five roaming the surroundings and new threats emerging with each season, the future of this dynasty remains shrouded in tension. Will the legacy of the Flow Coalition withstand the next generations, or are we witnessing the final acts of an era? Answers may arise where we least expect, perhaps even in the most unlikely hunt of all. Did you know that a single strategic mistake can be fatal for any predator? Or that true leadership is not just about brute strength but the flawless execution of tactics and unity? The Ngorongoro Lion Quintet is a living example of that. But what happens when a coalition like this challenges nature itself? Are they legends in life, or will they be overshadowed by a new power? Now we want to hear your opinion. Do you think this Flow Coalition will stand the test of time? Leave your thoughts in the comments and subscribe to the channel for more amazing stories from African wildlife. Don't forget to hit the bell so you won't miss the next videos, where we'll explore more mysteries of the wild.